What if everything you thought you knew about men was only half the story? Beneath their silence, behind their stoic facades, lies a world of unspoken desires that could redefine your relationship forever. This isn't about fleeting moments of passion. It's about forging a bond so deep, so unbreakable, that it withstands the chaos of life. Stay with us, because in the next few moments, you'll uncover 6 truths that men crave in intimacy, but will never tell you. These revelations, rooted in the profound wisdom of Jordan Peterson, will challenge your assumptions and empower you to create a connection that transcends the ordinary. Introduction. The silent yearning men are often misunderstood, their desires reduced to clichés of physicality or simplicity. Society paints them as one-dimensional, driven by instinct, unburdened by emotional complexity. But this is a lie, a shallow caricature that ignores the profound psychological and spiritual needs that shape their hearts. Intimacy, for a man, is not just a physical act. It's a battlefield where his identity, his purpose, and his worth are tested. When these needs are met, the result is not just a better moment in the bedroom. It's a relationship transformed, a bond that grows stronger through time, chaos, and challenge. Jordan Peterson, a philosopher and psychologist who has reshaped how we understand human behavior, teaches us that life is a balance of order and chaos, responsibility and freedom. In relationships, this balance is critical. Men, like women, carry a burden of unspoken expectations, shaped by biology, culture, and their own inner struggles. To ignore these is to miss the opportunity to build something extraordinary. Today we're diving into the 6 desires men crave in intimacy, but rarely voice. Desires that, when understood and honored, unlock a level of connection most couples only dream of. Stay with us because what you're about to learn could change everything. The need to be chosen, not just accepted. At the heart of a man's soul is a primal need to feel chosen. This isn't about being tolerated, grudgingly accepted, or selected by default. It's about being the one who sets your heart ablaze, who stirs something so powerful within you that you can't look away. Peterson often speaks of the hero's journey, the call to step into responsibility and meaning. For a man, being chosen is that call. It's the moment he's invited to rise, to protect, to lead, to be the pillar of your world. This desire runs deeper than words. It's not enough to say, "I love you," or to go through the motions of a relationship. A man needs to see the spark in your eyes, the unspoken affirmation that says, "You are my choice, my strength, my desire." This isn't about ego. It's about identity. Men are wired to seek purpose, to know they matter in the lives of those they love. When a woman communicates this choice, through a lingering glance, a deliberate touch, or a moment of raw vulnerability, it speaks to his core. Why it matters. Peterson's philosophy emphasizes the importance of truth in relationships. To choose a man authentically is to align your actions with your heart, to reject pretense and embrace honesty. When a man feels chosen, it awakens a confidence that reverberates through every aspect of the relationship. He becomes more present, more engaged, more willing to invest emotionally and physically. This isn't about manipulating him. It's about recognizing his need to be seen as irreplaceable. How to cultivate this desire. Eye contact. Hold his gaze a moment longer than feels comfortable. Let your eyes convey desire, admiration, and intention. A single look can say more than 1,000 words. Physical cues. A gentle touch on his arm, a playful nudge, or the way you lean into him can signal that you're drawn to him. Not just his body, but his essence. Verbal affirmation. Go beyond generic compliments. Instead of "you're handsome," say, "The way you carry yourself makes me feel safe and alive." Be specific, be honest, be vulnerable. Show intention. Small gestures, like planning a special moment or surprising him with a thoughtful act, reinforce that he's your deliberate choice, not a default option. The deeper impact. When a man feels chosen, he steps into his masculine energy with purpose. He's not just a partner, He's a protector, a provider, a force of stability in your life. Peterson would argue that this dynamic is rooted in the archetypes of human existence, the hero and the beloved. By choosing him, you invite him to embody the hero, to take on the responsibility of your shared journey. This creates a virtuous cycle where his confidence fuels your connection, deepening intimacy in ways that transcend the physical. Keep reading to uncover the second desire, one that fuels a man's passion like nothing else. Genuine admiration. The fuel of masculine energy. Men thrive on admiration, but not the shallow, performative kind. Empty flattery or insincere praise is a hollow gesture, easily detected and often resented. What men crave is authentic, heartfelt appreciation that acknowledges their essence, their strength, their resilience, their unique presence. Peterson's teachings on truth and responsibility resonate here. Genuine admiration is an act of honesty, a recognition of a man's efforts and qualities that speaks to his deepest sense of self. This desire isn't about inflating his ego. It's about affirming his identity. Men are conditioned to strive, to prove themselves in a world that demands competence and strength. When a woman sees this struggle and honors it, not with pity, but with respect, it ignites his masculine energy. He becomes more present, more engaged, more willing to give of himself emotionally and physically. The psychology behind it. Peterson often speaks of the burden of responsibility men carry, a weight shaped by biology and culture. Admiration is the antidote to this burden, a reminder that his efforts are seen and valued. It's not about praising him for existing. It's about recognizing the specific ways he shows up, his humor, his work ethic, his ability to make you feel secure. This validation fuels his confidence, not in a superficial way, but in a manner that aligns with his purpose. Practical steps to show admiration. Be specific. Generic compliments like, "You're great," fall flat. Instead, say, "I love how you always know how to make me laugh, even on my worst days." Specificity shows you're paying attention. Acknowledge effort. Notice the small things. Fixing something around the house, listening patiently, or tackling a challenge at work. A simple, "I see how hard you're working and it means so much," can be transformative. Celebrate his strengths. If he's physically strong, let him know how his presence makes you feel protected. If he's intellectually sharp, praise his insight. Tailor your admiration to what makes him unique. Avoid insincerity. Men can sense when praise is forced or manipulative. Speak from the heart, and let your words reflect what you truly feel. The ripple effect admiration creates a virtuous cycle. A man who feels valued gives more of himself, not just in intimacy, but in every aspect of the relationship. He becomes more attentive, more affectionate, more committed. Peterson would argue that this dynamic is rooted in mutual responsibility. By admiring him, you take responsibility for nurturing his spirit, just as he takes responsibility for protecting and providing for you. This exchange builds a foundation of trust and passion that lasts. Don't miss the third desire. It's the spark that keeps intimacy alive. Enthusiasm and shared passion. Nothing stirs a man's heart more than a partner who is fully present and genuinely enthusiastic. Men want to know that you're not just participating in intimacy out of obligation, but because you crave the connection as deeply as they do. This desire aligns with Peterson's emphasis on living with purpose. Intimacy should be a shared adventure, a dance of energy that elevates both partners. When a man senses hesitation, boredom, or detachment, it erodes his confidence. He begins to question whether he's enough, whether he still matters. But when he feels your enthusiasm, through your touch, your voice, or the way you respond to him, it electrifies the moment. This isn't about performing or faking it. It's about letting yourself be fully immersed in the experience, allowing your passion to feed his. Why enthusiasm matters. Peterson's philosophy of sacrifice is relevant here. Enthusiasm is a form of sacrifice. It's the willingness to give yourself fully to the moment, to let go of distractions and insecurities. This act of presence is a gift, one that reassures a man that he's desired, needed, and valued. It transforms intimacy from a routine into a shared celebration of your connection. How to cultivate enthusiasm. Be present. Put aside distractions, phones, worries, to-do lists, and focus on the moment. Your undivided attention is a powerful signal of desire. Respond authentically. Let your reactions reflect your genuine feelings, whether it's a sigh, a laugh, or a whispered word. These small cues reassure him that you're fully engaged. Initiate connection. Surprise him by taking the lead occasionally. Whether it's a spontaneous kiss or a bold move, it shows you're as invested in the moment as he is. Communicate. Desire. Simple phrases like, "I can't stop thinking about you," or "I love how you make me feel," can ignite his passion and reinforce your connection. The deeper connection, enthusiasm creates a feedback loop of passion. When a man feels your energy, he responds with greater intensity, creating a dance of mutual desire that deepens your bond. Peterson would argue that this dynamic is essential for a meaningful relationship. It's the difference between a partnership that survives and one that thrives. By bringing enthusiasm to intimacy, you breathe life into your connection, making every moment vibrant and alive. Stay tuned for the fourth desire, which adds a spark of unpredictability to keep the fire burning. Playfulness and spontaneity. The antidote to routine intimacy thrives on adventure, and men are wired for it. While they may not admit it, men crave playfulness and spontaneity, moments that break the monotony and rekindle the thrill of the early days. Peterson's philosophy of balancing chaos and order applies here. Too much predictability stifles passion, but a touch of controlled chaos reignites it. Playfulness isn't just about physical acts. It's about an attitude of fun, teasing, and lightheartedness. A mischievous smile, a playful challenge, or an unexpected gesture can transform an ordinary moment into something unforgettable. Spontaneity, meanwhile, keeps the relationship dynamic. It's the difference between a scripted routine and a moment of passion that catches you both by surprise. The power of play. Peterson often speaks of the importance of joy in life, the need to find moments of lightness amidst the weight of responsibility. Playfulness in intimacy is that lightness. It's the laughter, the teasing, the sense of shared adventure. Men don't just want passion, they want fun, moments that feel fresh and full of life. How to bring playfulness and spontaneity. Tease. Playfully. A lighthearted comment, a flirtatious wink, or a playful challenge can shift the energy in an instant. Surprise him. Initiate intimacy at an unexpected time or in a new setting. A quiet evening at home, a stolen moment during a busy day, or a bold text that builds anticipation. Keep it light. Don't take every moment too seriously. Laughter and joy are powerful aphrodisiacs that make intimacy feel effortless. Embrace variety. Small changes, a new touch, a different setting, or a fresh approach can reignite passion and keep things exciting. The long-term impact. Spontaneity and playfulness prevent intimacy from becoming a routine. They remind both partners of the thrill of discovery, the magic of not knowing what's coming next. Peterson would argue that this dynamic is essential for a relationship to endure. It's the chaos that keeps the order vibrant. By embracing playfulness, you create a connection that feels alive, unpredictable, and deeply satisfying. The fifth desire is one that men rarely voice, but deeply need. Keep reading to uncover it. Emotional safety and acceptance. Men are often seen as emotionally stoic, but this is a cultural myth. Deep down, every man longs for a space where he can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. Peterson's teachings on truth and trust are particularly relevant here. For a man to open up emotionally, he needs to feel safe. This desire for emotional safety goes beyond intimacy. It's about being accepted for who he is, flaws and all. Society places immense pressure on men to be strong, capable, and unshakable. They're rarely given permission to show doubt, fear, or vulnerability. In a relationship, however, Men crave a partner who sees their humanity, who offers a sanctuary where they can let down their guard. When a woman creates this space, it forges an unbreakable bond that transcends the physical. The need for safety. Peterson argues that trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Emotional safety is the bedrock of that trust. It's the assurance that a man can share his deepest thoughts and feelings without being criticized or diminished. This safety allows him to be fully himself, to bring his heart and soul into the relationship. How to create emotional safety. Listen without judgment. When he shares something personal, resist the urge to fix or critique. Simply listen and validate his feelings with phrases like, "I hear you," or "that must be tough." Show appreciation. Acknowledge his efforts even when they fall short. A simple, "I see how hard you're trying and it means so much," can be transformative. Be consistent. Emotional safety is built over time through small, consistent acts of kindness, understanding, and patience. Avoid shaming. Never belittle his vulnerabilities, whether in private or public. Words that wound his pride can create lasting distance. The transformative power. When a man feels emotionally safe, he becomes more open, more affectionate, and more committed. He no longer feels the need to hide parts of himself, allowing for a deeper, more authentic connection. Peterson would argue that this dynamic is essential for a relationship to thrive. It's the mutual vulnerability that creates true intimacy. By offering emotional safety, you give a man the freedom to be his true self, strengthening your bond in ways that last. The final desire is perhaps the most powerful. Stay with us to uncover it. Respect for his masculinity. At the heart of a man's identity is his masculinity, a complex blend of strength, ambition, and vulnerability. In a world that often challenges traditional roles, men crave a partner who respects and honors this aspect of who they are. Peterson's philosophy of embracing individual responsibility resonates here. Respecting a man's masculinity is about recognizing his unique contributions to the relationship and allowing him to step into his natural strengths. This respect doesn't mean subservience or outdated stereotypes. It's about appreciating his desire to protect, provide, and lead when the moment calls for it. When a woman celebrates his masculinity through admiration, encouragement, or simply allowing him to take charge in certain moments, it awakens a deep sense of purpose and loyalty. Why masculinity matters. Peterson often speaks of the archetypes that shape human behavior: the hero, the protector, the provider. Masculinity is tied to these archetypes, and men feel a deep need to embody them in their relationships. When a woman respects this, she validates his identity, giving him the confidence to show up fully as a partner. How to show respect, admire his strengths. Notice and praise his qualities, whether it's his work ethic, his humor, or his physical presence. Phrases like, "I love how you take charge," can be incredibly affirming. Avoid criticism. Instead of pointing out flaws, focus on supporting his growth. Encouragement builds him up. Criticism tears him down. Speak highly of him. Whether alone or in public, your words shape his confidence. Praise him sincerely and avoid belittling remarks, even in jest. Allow leadership. Let him take the lead in moments that matter to him, whether it's planning a date or making a decision. This doesn't mean giving up your voice. It means honoring his desire to contribute. The lasting impact. Respecting a man's masculinity creates a foundation of trust and loyalty. It allows him to feel valued not just for what he does, but for who he is. Peterson would argue that this dynamic is essential for a relationship to endure. It's the mutual respect that transforms a partnership into a lifelong journey. By honoring his masculinity, you awaken a passion and commitment that goes beyond the physical, creating a bond that is both powerful and enduring. Conclusion. Building a bond that lasts. The desires we've explored: being chosen, admired, met with enthusiasm, surprised with playfulness, offered emotional safety, and respected for masculinity, are not just about intimacy. They are about creating a relationship that is alive with meaning, trust, and passion. As Jordan Peterson would argue, a great relationship requires both partners to take responsibility for each other's growth, to confront chaos with courage, and to build a shared life rooted in truth. When you honor these unspoken needs, you don't just meet a man's physical desires, you awaken his heart, mind, and soul. You create a connection that weathers the storms of life and grows stronger with time. So take these insights and apply them. Be the partner who sees him, values him, and inspires him to be his best self. The result will be a relationship that is not just satisfying, but transformative, a bond that stands as a testament to the power of love, respect, and mutual responsibility. If this resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to our channel for more transformative insights, like this video to show your support, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Together, let's build relationships that thrive. Stay with us for more.